It's February 21st, 2015, and the last video just got cut off because, well, for who knows what reason. And anyway, as I was saying, should I win, I would have my child returned to me, and that's not to say that it would completely discredit everything the state or government has ever said about me, but it would definitely at least allow me to keep my own child, and put some of their allegations into dispute, or make it less likely that at least give me a chance to say that that what they're claiming is not necessarily true. So the hearing that this is going to be held to decide these matters is called a quote-unquote jurisdictional hearing, and it is set for March 19th, which isn't very much time. It's not really enough time to collect the discovery and the witnesses I need. I've requested a continuation through my attorney. I told her I have made some requests for some records and for some individuals I'd like to have appear that need to be found. But I am not sure that she will request a continuation, because in the past she didn't request a continuation. And what they've really been trying to do is just speed track this entire proceeding so that I don't have time to collect the documentation and evidence I need to prove my case sufficiently. And it's true that in child matters, you don't want to delay and stall too much because out of concern for the child. However, there are times that the government will try to push something to go through very quickly, so that they don't have anybody showing up that's going to contest their false allegations. And that is what is happening right now. So I have some persons in mind that I would like to call to the stand, and I've asked my attorney about that, to make those requests on those individuals. However, there might be none of the individuals that I can think of are persons who would just voluntarily speak on my behalf, because they're pretty much government workers. And I don't have anyone just coming to mind that I can think of who would speak up for me and want to testify for me, to say, yes, I did see her in other states, or I saw her in another country, or yes, I can affirm that what she's saying about such and such an event is true. I don't know where some of those individuals could be. They could be in any country, actually. They could be in England, or in Japan, China, Russia, Ukraine, Canada, the United States. They could be in any number of countries, Mexico. So, and basically any kind of statement from someone, or communication from another person, that might at least even say, yes, I did see someone that looked just like her. Even if they weren't able to say it was me. If they can say it was me and they met me, that's even better. But what I'm looking for right now is anything that would help to validate or be additional support to my testimony that the United States government did traffic me around when I was a kid, and that I was in many different locations and met a lot of different kinds of people. And so if anyone has any information at all, whether it's like knowing about me in a music context, because I did meet a lot of people through music. I did sign a lot of autographs. If anybody has an old autograph for me when I was a kid, that would be extremely valuable. I signed a lot of autographs before all of a sudden the government decided they wanted me to say that I was lying, and I never really did write any of the songs myself. But there was a time frame wherein I was being credited for being the songwriter behind some of the first hit songs that were coming out. And they just decided basically it'd be more profitable to them to deny that and say some adult was writing them. But any kind of evidence at all, I saw her at such and such a place, I met her, or even if someone would like to speak on my behalf to say, I know that she never acted, whenever I saw her, she never acted nuts, such as never acted strangely impulsive or out of control, or had some kind of a weird physical reaction out in public that was not appropriate or normal or something like that. I think it's pretty obvious just from my videos that even though some of the things I talk about sound a little unusual, I think it's pretty obvious that I'm not like a wacko. But anyone that would be able to add something on my behalf, it would be very helpful right now at this time. My motive is specifically to have my daughter returned to me, and potentially to have and to have communication with my son, because I have not been allowed to speak to my son since he was removed from me by the government. And the government chose a family that they knew would work with them and that they could use to keep communication from him blocked. I guess I also don't know if Edward Howard's kid, if his son would ever want to say, yeah, I remember her, or it's true that my dad talked about her. I can at least say, yes, she had something to do with the government. I don't really know that. I don't know anything about him. I don't know really the involvement of his family in my life and what it was for exactly. So I don't expect him to say too much. But I mean, even if there are a few government kids out there, or ex-government kids who even became expatriates, who would like to speak up and contact me, that would be helpful. So be really helpful to have someone who's British, actually. Just because I was in England a lot when I was younger. Maybe someone who's from Ukraine too, I don't know. Or Russia, I really have no idea. I don't know where someone might turn up, what kind of a person would be motivated to want to speak up for me. But it seems like someone, there were so many people around in England, and I was being hidden a lot of the time. I was, being hidden under blankets in cars and trafficked back and forth and everything. But I was out in public sometimes. I was also out in public in Japan. There was like an entire group of Japanese that knew I'd written a bunch of hit songs, and so a lot of them knew. I don't think that they were all Japanese government kids, in collusion with the United States government at all. I think some of them met me and they really did know and believe that I was the writer of some of these, United States pop songs that they liked a lot. And then all of a sudden the government, came in and decided, no, we're going to just say she's a liar. And basically I was like trapped in my house being forced to write songs for the government, and then other people were taking credit for it. So all of that sounds, the United States has been using to make me sound mentally ill. And anything that anyone could add that would validate what I'm saying in any way would be very important to me. And I don't know if possibly there's some military too, because not every military person who's worked for the government's really thrilled with what's happened to them or their families, or maybe to other people that they know. And I worked with a lot of military individuals at different points, for like different trainings and that kind of thing. And I'm sure there has to be one or two that, knew what was happening to me and disagreed with it. Whether they're British military or United States military. Also, it's possible that there's some sort of disgruntled FBI employee out there. I have a very strong feeling about that. I don't know who it would be, but I think it's true. And if that disgruntled person feels that they're in a safe place and thinks that they would be able to say something on my behalf, that would also be that would be very valuable and helpful to me for purposes specifically of having my children returned to me so that I can just raise them. And as for me and discrediting the United States government, I don't really care about discrediting them and making them sound as bad as they really are, as much as right now just having people give me enough credibility to be for me to be able to say, you know, there's nothing defective with my ability to function in society or raise a child. You know, I mean, I worked how long as a nanny for other people, but you know, they never allow me to raise my own kid. And I don't want to go through another process like this with the court, then have them try to drug me up again, try to brainwash me, and intimidate me into silence to not talk about any of this again for another 10 years. I mean, why can't they just return my kids to me and say, you know, okay, we've done enough damage. So that's pretty much those are my motives. And I'm, you know, potentially I'm very willing to forgive certain persons maybe who did some bad things to me in the past, or who I believe, you know, at the time when it happened did really bad things. If for some reason they were willing to give me credibility and testify on my behalf so that I could have my kids returned to me, because I know that that would be a big step and an important, very important form of disclosure to the point of my being able to say if they're willing to do that, something has changed or something has happened potentially, to the point that that they feel they maybe made a mistake in the past about me, or they're willing to acknowledge that as a kid I made mistakes too, and they don't hold it against me, and that they feel that what needs to happen now is for me to be able to live a normal life.